years back they did a skit on Saturday Night Live, because back then everyone was going for everything compact, everything was small. They wanted to go with the small. You remember that, a little flip phone, you spin it out, and it had the little. It was like an MP3 player with a phone, basically is what it was. And they did a bit on Saturday Night Live, and it was like the guy's holding up like a little. You can't even see the phone. He's just like, hello.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, hello, and it's fuck it. Will Ferrell was not. These were the Will Ferrell days. Yeah. The Will Ferrell days, yeah. So yeah, but these days, like with my phone, I just got this. What's the Android or some shit? I don't know what it is. I use it to make calls.
You have a Droid phone.
Yeah, or Droid, and what, I don't know the difference. Anyway, my son was just like totally psyched when he seen it. Oh, you can do this and this and this and this. And I'm like, really? Okay. I just want to make calls with it, you know?
And watch YouTube.
And then, I don't even really watch it. I just kind of, I play it and I'll plug it into my truck when I'm driving, and I listen to it and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, my nephew has a nice, he has one of those fat, I don't know how fucking big that phone is, man. It's huge.
It's like a day planner.
Yeah, I don't know what
with
the
a speaker.
Dude, it's like, we were talking about this earlier. You said it looks so ridiculous when they're holding the phone. It's like you can't even palm a fucking beach ball, you know, and you're trying to hold this fucking brick,
right?
You know, and which is funny because, you know, the very first cell phones that came out, they literally called them bricks, and then people got, I don't know, I feel like we've gotten to a point where we got our phones to a point where they're reliable, and you got your little screens and everything, you know, and you got all your little apps and everything. Us being us, we're fucking humans. We have to take shit and exploit it to its most absurd fucking point, you know. How many? Let me give you an example. How many apps do you have on your phone?
I don't know, maybe like 50.
And how many do you actually use?
Probably like 10 or 15.
And how many can you delete off your phone? Like, take them off to where they no longer exist there.
All of them.
Really?
Well, no, there are default ones that I can't delete.
Right. It's like on my phone, I'm like, I look and I'm like, what the fuck is, half the shit on there, I don't even know what the fuck it does, you know? And most of it's all just promotional shit. You know, it's mostly promotional. And I guess for the younger generation, I guess that's their thing, you know?
Well, it is convenient on many levels. You can be part of the younger generation where a dictionary app isn't that really important. But to someone like me, I'd like to break down a word if I've heard it, and I'll be able to just reach into my pocket, right?
Right.
Because the effort of going to a computer and entering it into Google, you know, I'm not going to wait till I get home to do that. And I'm not going to do it at work because it's not convenient. But if I reach into my pocket and I pull it out and I can type it in there real quick, I'll find out. And then you know, I'm satisfying my curiosity. I'm expanding my mind a little bit. Right. So that kind of app, I'm going to use very rarely. But having it on your phone, it's convenient.
Just having it there is good enough. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, one thing I like about my phone is it has the camera on it, and it has the camcorder. So I do, you know, the photos I'm just taking like mad crazy again. I'm getting back into that thing, you know. So that's a good thing, you know. That's crazy. But anyway, yeah, this younger generation, dude, there's something else, man. And they're gonna run the future.
How is your son taking to high school?
A junior high. He's doing good. He actually asked me the other day about he wanted to take his phone to school, and that's one of the things that I don't like it. You know, I'm like, nah, ain't gonna happen. Well, everybody's doing this. I don't give a fuck.
His own phone?
Yeah,
you're not letting him take it to school.
No, no. I don't see any need for you to take your phone to school.
When you were going to school, was there that one little thing that you're like, I wish I had this, because it's hard to fit in and people kind of point out to me and I stand out as the different guy?
No, I didn't pay attention to what other people. When I was going to school, dude, this is the thing. When I was going to school, I was all the way up until 6th grade, dude. I was fucking like Gumby, dude. I mean, I don't know if you know who Gumby is, right?
Of course I know who Gumby is.
I was real straight edge and just real, you know what I mean? I went to school.
Did you have any Gumby shirts?
So, I do. I even know the fucking theme to Gumby, dude.
Did you get picked on for wearing
Gumby? He was once a little green ball of
Did you get picked on for wearing Gumby shirts?
No, because I was known for having a temper too, though. I was one of those kids like motherfuckers knew they kind of knew that he's smart, but dude, don't piss this motherfucker off. I was an odd little bird, dude. I was just odd. That's the only way I can describe what I was, dude. I was just fucking odd. People's I'd never heard the fucking word eccentric or I was called weird.
Was that around the time of pagers?
In high school, you're talking 1987. Yeah, pagers might have been out there. No, I don't fucking remember. I don't remember anybody I knew having a pager. But these days you can even everybody has a cell phone, dude. It's just everybody. You know what I mean? They're like it's like just a normal thing to have.
Your son doesn't when he's at school.
Well, no, that's because he's there to get an education. He's not there to. He's not. It's like I told him before. You know, you're not there. You want to socialize. You socialize. You have 5 minutes from one class to another to do your socializing. You have lunch and you have PE. The rest of the time you're there to get an education. That's your job right now, is to get an education. When you step outside of them gates, you have
that's kind of the old school mindset, though.
Yeah,
a lot of the kids today, when they're
that's what's keeping them on track right now, dude.
When they're between classes or on break, they got their head down and they're buried into a text message to each other.
Right. And I even made a deal with him. I said, I'll do this for you. This is what I'll do. You take your phone to school with you, and you turn it off. When the first bell rings, that phone is off. Okay. When the last bell rings, you can turn it back on. I don't want you walking in between classes with it. I don't want you know what I mean? It don't take but a second for someone to fucking grab it and run, or you know what I mean, or you to lose it and drop it. And I don't want to have to deal with that shit. And it's like
everybody's got one in school.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing, dude. I don't want him to be like everybody. I don't want him.
But you don't want him to stand out as different.
No, but I want him to understand that it's cool to be social. It's cool to, you know what I mean?
Dude, he's got no less than a B.
Right.
I think he knows how to maintain.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. He's at you. Listen, I'm not putting anything against you or nothing, dude. But having a child, it's you can't just stick the fucker up on a shelf and when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You have to address those things. You know, he went 6 years, dude. Never missed a day of school. Never got a referral. Never got nothing, dude. Perfect student, A's across the fucking board. Everything, dude. His first year of junior high, it's like he's got like 2 weeks left of school, dude. He gets 2 referrals.
Last year, a referral is what? When you lose a job and you're trying to get another job?
No, you're just being a smart ass now. And which for me, it was a different. Back when I was a kid, a referral was you got referred to the office. They took your ass out of class. Shit like, you know what I mean? I
don't remember referrals. I remember detention.
Oh yeah, I remember detention. I spent half my year in the fucking.
So you had to speak to somebody?
I got a call saying your child has received a referral in such and such class. He should be bringing home a note. That note needs to be signed, and you need to send it back to school. So anyway, I signed it, and then like 3 days later, he gets another one. You know, and I guess his mindset was, well, there's only 2 weeks left, and so I just kind of made it clear to him, listen, you're going the wrong fucking route. I don't give a fuck if there's fucking 2 hours left. You're not there to have fun. You know, it's nice if you can do it and have fun, but you're there to get an education. That's that. Yeah, this year he stepped onto the scene. He stepped onto really, you know. But now he's, like I said,
Did you see a slip in grades last year?
No, absolutely not. No, he's not allowed to slip, dude. He's just not allowed. It's just not.
Well, if any change happens, it happens in high school. That's right. When your hormones are going crazy.
Right. No, his hormones.
Girls are becoming a distraction.
His hormones are going crazy now. You know,
I'm not saying individually. I'm not talking about Bryce. I'm saying you remember high school and you know what it's like as generalized.
I remember half of high school.
In high school, generally, girls start standing out to you. You know, you're going through chemical changes. Hair is growing on your body. You're feeling emotions you never felt before. You know, you're struggling to fit in and not knowing what's cool and what's not. You know?
Yeah.
And you're lucky to have even a clue of that and to be able to pull grades off.
Well, I think he can do it. I mean, there's no doubt.
I know he can do it.
There's no doubt in my mind he can't do it. It's just I don't want him distracted by, And I talk to him. I'm straight up with him, dude. I'm straight up with him about everything, dude. The whole masturbation thing and all that. And he gives me that weird look, and I'm going, "You're gonna fucking do it," because we were fucking around that one day. Remember we were talking about don't use shampoo.
Right.
Everyone makes that mistake just at least once.
Right.
And he's like, "Ew, that." I said, and I looked at him like, "Dude, come on, man.
I just saved you a bunch of pain."
Yeah, we're boys. Come on, I mean, I'm trying to navigate you through this. These are the awkward times in a father-son relationship. I can only imagine what a woman goes through when she has to tell her daughter, "Well, now the time's gonna come where you're gonna start bleeding through your vagina."
Women are more introvert. They talk about feelings. And
but
it's easier for a woman to do it than it is for a guy.
Can you imagine? I mean, I couldn't. I can't even imagine what it'd be like, dude. To fucking.
Because you don't have a vagina,
right? But there's that running joke. He said, don't trust anything that bleeds for 3 days and lives.
Unless you bleed for 3 days and live.
Right. But yeah, so he's just at that age where he's experiencing, and I'm really glad that because I told you that he's been spending a lot of time on his gaming and stuff, so I kind of had a talk with him, and sure enough, true to form, he realized, oh, you know what, Dad's right, so he's like he's actually out and about today. He's actually out. He's with one of his friends. They went to, I guess there's a place out here in Rancho, I think is where he said it was. That's Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, California. No, Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Nobody cares, Marin.
Sure, people care, man.
Don't. If it's LA, if it's fucking Beverly Hills, if it's Hollywood, then they care.
People are going to care when they know where we grew up. Of course, come on.
What's going on in Rancho?
Oh, they have, I guess, at the library in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Every Saturday, the kids go there and you pay $3, and you can play Wii, Xbox, PS1, PS2, PS3. So I know what you're thinking, but
what am I thinking?
Like you told them to go out and
exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, but
he's getting out and about. He's walking 200 paces.
No, and then he's going to a.
At least he's out there socializing with other people.
I guess that's the word. Social. I want him to be more socially connected with the people around him. You know what I mean? I don't want him to be one of those fucking people where it's like he feels more comfortable online than he does in real life. I don't want that. iPhones. I don't know where we took this ship. But
all right, let's try our new segment. Urban Dictionary.
What's the word?
Well, let's make this a game. Marin, let's make this a game. How about you give me your interpretation and I'll tell you if you're wrong. You win $1 million if you do.
Yeah.
Let's start simple. The Urban Dictionary defines the word or phrase peter out.
When you're banging a chick and you got to pull out, you're peter out. You're pulling your peter out. I'm done having intercourse with you. Now I will peter out. Am I close? Come on, even a little.
Well, if you expand your definition, you will have nailed both definitions. There's two here.
Okay.
The one that you guessed is an exposed penis.
Peter out?
Peter out.
I was close. All right.
The other one...
Do I get $500,000?
No.
It's not right.
You have to guess the other one to get the entire million.
Okay.
Enter in your answer here.
You didn't give me the fucking word.
There's two parts.
To peter out?
The definition, like, you've read a dictionary, right?
Yeah.
So when you read a word, it'll have like one and then two and then like the pronunciation or whatever. And usually one is close to the second definition.
Yeah.
Like it's another interpretation.
All right. Peter out. Peter out.